So I'm going to save you a lot of lost capital in trading, and I'm going to save you a lot of time and unnecessary waste of time, emotion, and frustration in trading. So if you're currently trading and focusing on trading psychology, I'm going to tell you why you need to completely forget trading psychology. You need to completely forget trading with live capital until you've mastered the technicals. I speak to so many traders who are just starting out and they're already thinking about going live with live capital. And they haven't proven a track record of at least 3 months of profitability. In my case, I would have saved so much money if I would just wait until I was consistently profitable before going live. And if you don't want to make the same mistakes as I did, you need to listen to this video closely. So, who am I to tell you this? I have 6 funded accounts and I'm doing several challenges and I've gotten several payouts. 1st of August, I passed one 10K and 100K challenge in one trade. And I'm currently doing phase 2 as well as funded accounts. And to tell you the truth, I struggled a lot with trading psychology. But the thing is, obviously it took me a long time to overcome, but trading psychology wasn't my main issue because I struggled with the technicals. I thought that I knew what I needed to know and that I had a profitable strategy, but I didn't. And most of my trading psychology issues came down to the fact that I didn't trust my strategy. So I always felt like I needed to improvise or take control manually in order to succeed. And if that's the case, then you shouldn't be trading. You don't have a consistent edge and you're always going to lose. It doesn't matter how far you've come. If you're past phase 1, phase 2, if you're funded, you're just going to blow up your account eventually. Because the thing is, once you have a consistent edge, then you know that you're not going to fail. You know what to expect. And that's it. But people don't learn the technicals first, and then they think that they're going to go in with live capital. You need to have discipline in your life. The way you do one thing is the way you're going to do everything. If you don't have a budget, if you're not saving money every single month, then you shouldn't be trading. You shouldn't look at trading as something you need financially the next year or the next 2 years. You need to have everything set up with another income and your budget and your expenses so that you don't think about the money from trading at all. You need to just collect that money from trading if you get something, and you need to save and invest that money. You shouldn't use that on expenses either way if you're just starting out. So you need to prove to yourself that you know what you're doing first. Instead of spending money in the market and losing, you should only trade demo account and you should invest in education, in trading education. You should find someone who is profitable and who is going to help you. And for example, me personally, I have a Discord, link below, which I help people with a trading strategy that works. I give them daily market analysis, so I tell them which days they should stay out of the market, which days they're just trying to trap traders, and which days they can trade. But people would rather spend 49 bucks, lose 49 bucks in one day instead of spend it for a month of every single day being guided in the market and given a strategy that people have worked really long and really hard a lot of back testing, a lot of trial and error to complete. They would rather lose $49 in the market in one single day by not trading with a plan and revenge trading than just invest in a mentor to learn something without expecting immediate returns, but simply to just observe and learn. Not to just copy the mentor all the time, but to understand where the edge is and try to learn something. So people would rather, most traders lose at least $1,000 a year if they're not profitable. But imagine if you spent $1,000 on different trading mentors, trying to find out what works for you, trying to learn, trying to be really eager to make people teach you something. Ask, what's the play here? Why are you approaching the market this way? What are you looking for? They would rather try to do everything themselves and lose because they're impatient and because they have a too high of an ego. And what you need to understand is, if you don't have a strategy that basically a bot could copy, then you don't have a strategy and you don't have an edge. People always try to use their intuition in the market, and your intuition makes sense when you watch the market live, because you see how fast the candles move and you watch it slowly, so you build up your intuition. That's exactly what the market makers want you to do. They want to sell you a narrative, a story, and make you believe one thing, and then they use you as liquidity. And that's why live trading isn't the same as backtesting, because in backtesting, you look at price more objectively. You look at liquidity, you look at more technicals. You don't look at how fast the candle is moving and all of that stuff. So if you see something live in the market that you think you could execute on that's not directly in your plan, you need to observe that live several times, and then you need to go into your back testing and make it work in back testing over several months. If you can't make the strategy work in back testing over several months, then you don't have an edge. It doesn't matter if you pass phase 1 and phase 2, you're still going to lose because you don't have a long-term edge and it means nothing. I would rather wait, miss out on a lot of opportunities, and then make money long-term, rather than make money short-term and then lose it. So you need a consistent strategy that makes sense, and it should be boring, and you should only execute on that strategy. And that's when you realize that trading isn't as fun and exciting as you thought. It's just clicking a buy and sell button once you get your A+ setup. And then, even though it's a painful truth that you don't get a setup every single day, and it's boring and it's a lot of waiting and it doesn't always go as fast as you thought, when the market delivers, it delivers, and it can deliver a lot. And all those other days when you don't have any action in the market, you need to ask yourself this. Instead of asking what's wrong with me, what's wrong with my strategy, you need to observe the market and think, why is this my only big income source? Why am I only trying to make money in trading? People try to sell you this dream that you should be a full-time trader, but what is a full-time trader? If prop firms collapse, then you couldn't be a full-time trader anymore. So it's just like you are kind of an entrepreneur, but I would call it more self-employed, or a contractor, or a freelancer. But you don't set the rules, you don't own the game, and all you need is a little shift in the market or prop firms go under, then you're no longer a profitable trader anymore. So you need to ask yourself this. Instead of saying what's wrong with me, what's wrong with my strategy, you need to look at the market and think, the market will always tempt me. with different opportunities, and they do this on purpose. The last 2 weeks, I've seen a strategy that's not my strategy, but something that would have worked wonders the last 2 weeks. They do this on purpose to make you think, oh, I need to switch strategy over to this one, and then it doesn't work anymore, and then you lose, and then something new, and then you repeat that cycle. And they do this on purpose to bait you. You need to be smarter than that and understand that the truth is you need to have a strategy that you can prove works over several months, at least 6 months of backtesting. That's what you need. If you can prove that to yourself, then you can trade it live. That's the only approach you need to do. If not, then you're not going to donate your money, your capital, freely to the market. Then you're going to say, I'm not doing business with you without these conditions. And if the market doesn't comply, then you need to ask yourself, why are you putting everything on trading? Why aren't you trying to develop other skills, other income sources as well? And if you're not able to or willing to develop yourself in other areas as well, then you don't deserve to be successful and really wealthy because you're just focused on trading. You need to love the process of reinventing yourself, developing yourself, and always capitalizing on opportunities. Trading teaches you a lot that you can apply to other areas in your life if you're just willing to learn. But if you're always going to be stubborn and just think, no, I know better, I can outsmart the market, I don't need a strategy, I can just follow my intuition, then you don't learn anything and you are just wasting your time. The market needs to prove to you and me that the edge works long term, otherwise it's worthless. It has no value. I don't care if it works 1 week or 2 weeks, I'm here for the long run. And I have enough capital to wait patiently for my A+ setup, my strategy, and that's all I care about. So if you're interested in learning from me, my strategy, my daily market analysis, click the Discord link in the bio and I'll help you from there. Good luck.